Good afternoon, I'm Becky Koenig, former managing editor at the Flat Hat, and I'm here with David Alpert and Meghan Moore, who are running for SA President and Vice President. Thanks for being here today, guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
Sure. So I guess first off, why do you want to become SA President and Vice President?
We just believe that the Student Assembly as an organization has a whole lot of potential to go to new heights, and the school, William & Mary, is already such a tremendous institution, and we think that we're the perfect pair to do some of the little things but also some of the big things that could help William & Mary get there.
And I think David brings the experience of student government, and I actually have never been involved in student government before, but the average William & Mary student isn't, so hopefully I can be that voice of a little inexperience, but someone who's involved in lots of clubs and organizations.
Can you both talk a little bit about your relevant experience, your SA experience, and what organizations and clubs you're involved in on campus, and how that might be an asset as president and vice president?
All right. I was president of the class of 2013 for my first 2 years here, and beyond that, I served as one of the Charter Day co-chairs, and I'm on one of the 6 Grand Challenge committees for the strategic plan, Lifelong Relations. And through Charter Day and Lifelong Relations this year, I've really gotten to develop a bunch of different working relationships, along with actually my Flat Hat column has really been a great asset, and just getting to meet different administrators and talk about their roles with the school and where they envision the school going. And that's just been tremendous to my own intellectual growth, and really has helped me love William & Mary even more as I understand it more.
And just to build off that, I think a lot of my experience comes from my time in DC. My sophomore spring, I did the William & Mary in Washington program. And as I was there, it's one of those things where you don't realize how powerful William & Mary is until you're gone. And I came back with this new fervor to sort of really give back and say thank you to William & Mary for all the experience that it's given me. I'm a freshman RA. I'm involved in Students for Belize education. I'm also on the executive board of Phi Sigma Pi, and I think with Gamma Phi and Reformed University Fellowship, I have a well-rounded sort of background to sort of speak for different student voices on campus.
Well-rounded doesn't do you justice, I think.
What do you think is the most important issue in the SA right now, or that the SA faces?
That's a good question. What my mind immediately jumps to is not really what the SA as an organization jumps to, but what the school faces, and because the SA is supposed to lead the school, and that's mental health for me. That's the first thing on our platform, our top 10 list, and I just think it's so crucial that we take this moment, many moments where we've had to look and introspect on what we can do as a community, and we do something productive with that. And so I just really think mental health is a significant challenge that the school really has to reckon with and do something positive and productive with.
And I think for me, just coming from a res life background, I've gotten to see these freshmen sort of experience their first couple of months here, and now with their second semester, I realized that there are a lot of places where the SA could sort of really help and complement res life. These are 2 really big entities that are huge on campus, and they sort of move in different circles, and I think by collaborating, we could really do a lot of good for the college, yeah.
Yeah, and that organizationally, actually, that's a great point. As class president, I served on the undergrad council, and all the other candidates with SA experience were either senators or in the executive branch, and I think the undergrad council is one of the SA's most underutilized assets, because you just have 20 class officers from all 4 years whose main role is to plan homecoming and then senior class gifts. And the officers are great people, love them all to death, but there's no real challenge there. They throw events that are fun and free, but I think greater collaboration with Res Life, there's really a whole lot that those people who, for the most part, just have titles and don't really have the initiative, the direction of where to go with that. I think that really this whole campus could benefit from greater cooperation and collaboration.
Do you have anything specific in mind for addressing mental health issues at the school?
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you asked. Last year actually, when I was talking to friends in the spring, I had a friend who had this idea for a mental health hotline based off of Teen Line, which we call Tribe Line. And that, I think, would just be a tremendous resource. We have students in a bunch of organizations, APO, HOPE, who are willing to serve the community, and I think we have a demonstrated need on this campus. I mean, I've been to the counseling center, and that's an important continuing relationship for me, but I don't think a lot of students, I know 1 in 3, I think is a statistic, go to the council center at their time, but I think more could and should take advantage of it. And I think creating some sort of a way where you could connect with a peer, someone who really understands what we're going through, is really important.
And I think just dealing with freshmen, a lot of times counseling sort of has a stigma to it, and it seems austere and scary when you're just coming here, and by having a peer really be there as a listening ear, and that median between like no help and then the counseling center, I think would serve a really good role for the college.
On a different note, the student body, one of their big concerns about the SA is their perceived lack of transparency. And I was wondering how you felt that was a concern, if you do think it's a concern, and if so, how would you propose to fix the possible problem if you were president and vice president?
You want to start this one?
Yeah, sure. I think Kavya and Molly have done a really good job of humanizing the SA already, and I think with our mentality of collaboration, we can sort of add to that transparency. One of the things that we're really aiming to do is, in regards to funding, really bring organizations before they submit their funding proposals and go over budget, which I think is a really hot button issue right now.
And yeah, I think Meghan hit it right on the head. Kaveh and Molly are just two of the most popular, prominent people on campus, and that sort of, I think, destigmatizes what the Student Assembly is and has been, and we'd love to continue that. I sort of treated my Facebook page when I was class president as a sort of fusion public-private profile. When we were trying to get a survey done so we could get Zipcar on campus, I kept updating with, we needed 600 respondents, and every couple hours I would have a couple hundred more, and I would post it and people would like it and comment and crack jokes about how obsessive I was. But I think I'm easy and approachable, and I think Meghan is too, and I think that's a pretty big asset that the Student Assembly has had this year, and I think needs to continue to have going in the future.
And I think we're also, if elected, we would do something like office hours, where we would just chill on the terrace, and part of that approachable nature is being out there and being open and really being willing to listen to every concern.
In addition to bringing student groups in to talk about budget requests, the SA deals with a great deal of money, and students are always concerned about where their dollars are going since student fees contribute to the budget. Do you have any thoughts about how you might like to reallocate budget money? Any big projects you have in mind? Any thoughts about how the SA has spent money in the past? Just kind of fiscal policy thoughts.
First thing, working on Char Day this year. I know last year we needed $50,000 from the Senate to make the concert happen, and this year, and half the concert's proceeds went back to the Senate. And this year, Steph Polito and I worked to get a $25,000 bill from the Senate and for AMP to keep all those proceeds so that we could have the concert, the fund sort of regenerate itself, and we could have bigger and better concerts in the years to come. And I think that's important. I know Kaveh put more of the concert money in the budget so that it's not so much of a fight with the Senate to try to pull teeth and get that money. I wouldn't be willing to commit at any point about how we would want to change the budget this year because we don't really know what people are going to be requesting next year. But I think just the whole point about targeted outreach before budgets are submitted to really, fix the broken funding system where right now it's predicated on mutual distrust, where clubs and organizations are told that if you want any money, you have to double what you really want. If you want a $50, cookie platter, you need to ask for 100. And then on the Executive Appropriations Committee side, the SA and the people in charge know that, oh, they're over requesting, so let's slash it in half. And so if we could just meet as adults and just have a mature conversation about what you need, what you want, because your activities fee should be on your activities and not sitting in the bank with the Senate.
There are 6 candidate pairs running in the election this year, and which is a big step up from 2 last year. Do you think that says something about the SA or students' perception of the SA? How do you feel about the race? Things like that.
I think it says something just about the typical William & Mary student. Everyone wants to give back to William & Mary, and everyone has a voice that could do so. I think all candidates are extremely qualified, so regardless of who wins, someone's going to have a good SA, president and vice president. I just think it speaks to the dedication of what the tribe is all about.
Yeah, I think William & Mary's blessed. We're blessed to be in this opportunity to run, and I'm friends with everyone on the other 5 tickets. So I think it's funny, it's strange, definitely unexpected. Everybody thought it's like a game of chicken. Somebody was going to drop out eventually, and here we are with all 6 of us still in it. And the debate's going to be fun and strange tonight. And it's just been a zany week and a half, and it'll continue to be. And William & Mary will be great, whoever comes out on top.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the voters who will be deciding the election?
Well, I know it's going to be a tough choice, and everybody has, it seems like, 3 or 4 different friends in it, but just don't forget to vote and have fun.
Yeah, I think voting is the main key, regardless of your affiliation. Just go out and vote.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
It's
so
nice
much
to
for your
be with
time.
you.
Yeah.